Hello, everybody. This is your girl Kim Mars, and guess what? Today we're going to be talking about something that has been really, really interesting to me, and that is wage slavery. Okay, now don't get me wrong. I've worked a 9 to 5 all my life, all the working life that I've had. I only went into entrepreneurship like in 2016, I believe, and that's when I started my first channel. And that was in 2016. I did it from 2016 to 2017. And I want to tell you guys it was not easy, and neither is it easy right now. However, is no easier than actually working for someone else. So let me explain what wage slavery is, because I've been hearing a lot of people talking about it online, and I'm pretty sure that you kind of figure out exactly what it is if you don't know what it is right now. I'm going to explain it to you. In fact, I got a definition of what a regular slavery, what we've thought slavery was as far as history goes, and how it is a new form of slavery, which is not really new when you kind of look at both of them together. But I kind of want to just tell you guys my story before I jump right into that. Again, like I said, I've worked a 9 to 5 most of my life. I took that 1, 2 years where I actually left a job of 8 years, and that was when I was working for an IT company, and I kind of wanted to go out on my own. It seemed like the reason that I did that is because, for several reasons, really, is that I felt stuck. I felt like I wasn't going anywhere. I remember having a conversation with some people that were in the office, and they had been working for CGW, way longer than I was. I was kind of like the baby of the pack, and I had been there for 8 years. And the only thing that everybody was looking forward to was retirement, basically retirement from, the CDW, I guess. So, and it was very frustrating because it was nothing really, you know, wrong as far as what we were doing or anything like that. But I just couldn't see my future being in a place where most of the time I really didn't like it. I just had to work because we had to pay bills. I mean, you live from paycheck to paycheck. And the thing about this particular company, they was only paying me enough to basically, I guess, take care of myself and to pay bills. So it was just a vicious cycle of waking up, going to a place that I can't really stand the people that are there. Neither do my boss is okay. And it just wasn't really making me happy. Now, I know one of the YouTubers that's here that is really, really famous. And if you don't know him, that's okay. But he has made it really, really famous as far as YouTube goes. And his name is Ralph Smart. One of the things he always say is some people die at 25 and don't get buried into their 70. Now, the reason he says that is because, for the simple fact, inside, we pretty much die. We go to this place every single day, no matter even if they gave us a really, really nice check, where you just making like $100,000. I've seen people quit $100,000 salaries or more, six-figure salaries or more, to go out on their own. Okay. And it's because they just weren't happy at what they were doing. Now, weren't they happy? I mean, didn't they get paid pretty good money? So do I. So did I. I got paid pretty good money. And it wasn't, for the most part, it wasn't anybody that was there every day, trying to smack me down. At least that's not the case in all. I'm pretty sure it was people ready to smack me down, but that wasn't it. I didn't have a problem with working hard. I never had a problem with working hard. What I had a problem was when I sat there and I listened to these people, and their only goal in life was basically to retire from the company that I worked for. It was saddening to me. It was really, really saddening. And all they were looking at was their 401k. They was looking at, the conversation was about their 401k, about the stocks, and this company was pretty generous about, giving the stocks and things like that, right? And it's good because actually that that money that people were getting, they could have just said, well, hey, you know what, once I get this, I'm just going to go ahead and, start my own business or whatever. But no, these people, we were all in the mindset of we're going to help this company continue to be successful and continue to pay us until we retire. Okay. That was just saddening to me because that was not my goal. I did not want to be, 80 years old. Now, there's some people that were older that were there. And as I saw how the company was kind of evolving, I saw them kind of pushing some of the older people or pressuring some of the older people to, kind of move to the side as they bring in the nice little young people that were coming in. And they were coming in with, different ideas. Now, us being in the technology field, we know how it is to change, but we don't want to change our particular position. We good at changing, technology is always changing. We understood that. But a lot of them didn't understand, and it was hurtful for a lot of the people that have been there for years to actually even think about having to move out of that position and not really move up like they thought they were going to do, or just, because this company had they were really good at keeping you in that same position and maybe giving you a raise every now and then, and sometimes not even that. Maybe even it was always in this company was all about the lateral move, but that's not what bothered me the most. Again, what bothered me the most was the fact that there was no ambition outside of working there. But I had this desire inside that was like, no way is this where I'm going to stop. Helping people with their technology and helping companies get the right technology. Yes, that's fine and dandy, but I had a different calling. I had a calling of wanting to help people with their life in general. And I had a call. So if you see that, that what I have down here or on this side here, where I have is, even though it says free education, but what I see there is solopreneur, work for a cause and not the pause. So I just put the pause on there because it rhymed. But the pause is you're working to in a really kind of sad way to just die, or to pause where you're just going to just retire and really pretty much do nothing. And that's not what I saw for my life. That's not what I see for my life right now. And that's what you should not be seeing for your life. Okay. Now, yes, this was very disheartening for me. And from that moment, even prior to that, I was always thinking of trying to get a side hustle, not to make money, but what did I really want to do? What made me feel great to do every day and that I can do damn near for free, right? You can do it for free almost, and you probably will, whatever it is that you decide you want to do. And so I had to take money out of the equation. I had to think about what if my mortgage, rent, and all that was paid, bam, what will I do? Will I just still sit here and continue to work at this place, or will I be trying to find something that was going to really benefit the world, benefit myself, have a certain type of fulfillment in my life? What was I going to do? Was I just going to sit back and just, eat buns and think that that's a happy life? Or do I have something in me that wants to help others? Everybody has it in them, unless it's been, you know, killed or, strangled out of you. Okay. And I know that sounds kind of, that sounds really morbid to say strangled out of you, but it's kind of been beaten or killed in a sense. That's why when Ralph says the person died at 25 and didn't get buried to 70, is because at 25 they okay, you get out of college, you hit these ambitions and this and that, and then you kind of think one day like, okay, I become the am I going to become the CEO of this company? No, no, you're probably not, because it's only one seat for that CEO seat. And what, you going to wait till somebody die? You start to think about all of those things. So if you don't have anything like a passion or something that you really, really care about, that's going to make you happy to be able to benefit other people in this way, then you're going to be stuck. Okay. And you're going to die. Your ambition is going to die. This is why you see so many people that, they get to this old age and then they're just totally sad. And a lot of people die as soon as they retire. And that's not because they, because it's part because they are lonely, or because they were lonely and they didn't have anything. They sacrificed everything for that job, just over broke, and they sacrificed everything. They could have been a wonderful maybe writer, but they didn't have time to write. They had to go to work and put food on the table. Okay. They could have probably been a wonderful motivational speaker. No, they had to go to work and had to talk to those people, and probably talk to the person that was next to them in the next cubicle and trying to help them, motivate them, and never really moving from the space that they're in, because maybe somebody decided, hey, you know what, this is as far as you're going in this company, and that's it. Okay. And if you don't like it, you can leave, or we'll fire you. Okay. And if you show that you don't like something for too long, or come in there grumbling every day, they will eventually show you where the door is. Okay. Now, so I'm saying all this to say, what is the difference between the two? We talk about, I've seen people talk about slave wage. I heard them. Wait a minute. Yeah. So we talk about slavery, and I wanted to kind of, get this, talk about this a little bit here. Okay. Let's talk about it. So the regular definitions out here. So let's talk about that. So the first one was what everybody see as slavery, is that person that's, you got massa telling you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, make me rich, tend to my field, go out there, do all the things that you know that you need to do to make it, to make me better. And because you did it, great job. I give you a place to live, and you get some food for you and your family. Now, if I want to come over and decide that I want to sleep with your wife, or whatever those things that were going on back in those days, you can see the correlation that is right now. Now, slave wages, they says, begins with being stuck in a job where they actually are still telling you what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And for all of that, you get to feed your family and have a place to live. So it's not really that much of a difference between massa telling you, you would, maybe somebody won't come and sleep with your wife, or your husband, or you may not have to do all those different things. But we pretty much um, sell our souls in a lot of different other ways, right? Okay, we work hours, miss people's graduations, we miss weddings, we miss funerals, we miss all types of things because of work. Okay, we miss our children. We don't get a chance to even talk to our children as much because we got to go to work. We angry at them if they even make us miss a day from what massa told us to do. So you really don't have, still, just as that slave didn't have a lot of control over whether they were going to go out on the field or not and work so that their family can still be safe and be able to feed their family, they still were in the same predicament, if you can see the correlation there. Now, when I thought of it this way, is, what, am I still in slavery in a sense that way? Yes, I was still in slavery, and many of us are still in slavery. So even back then, when they had to, and follow me here, because I'm going to be going back and forth with this, okay? So back then, I'm sure they felt they didn't really realize they were in slavery, just like we don't realize we're in slavery. We just know that this is what everybody is doing. And back then, everybody pretty much that they knew about, as far as they can see, was slaves, right? Everybody had their work, and they was glad to work for master. They was glad to live on the plantation. They was glad to have the better house maybe than Joe and them down the block. Same thing that we do right now. This person got a house, I got a house too. Massa allowed me to buy this house so I can be more in debt to him, whoever that is, right? So when these slaves was out there in the field, I'm imagining that they didn't really think of it as they were slaves so much, because again, they had to work and do this hard. They didn't know any other way. They had to do this hard work, because if you didn't work, you don't eat. Okay, you don't have a house or the roof over your head, even though you're the one that actually built that house, right? But you can't live in it, and you can live better if you continue to be a slave, right? So basically, they were in the same predicament as we are today, where we have to work with people we don't like, doing a job a lot of times that we definitely don't like. We can't stand our boss. We can't stand the people around us, and they can't stand us sometimes. Now, we occasionally meet some people, and I'm sure when people were in the field, they had a couple of people that they worked next to, and they were happy. They was like, and they talked about crap about massa, just like they do on the jobs. You talk about the boss with each other, right? But let something happen where dude next to you was picking cotton, and massa come in and he says something like, hey, you really know how to pick cotton faster than this person. Then all of a sudden these two people become enemies. Same thing that happens on a job. They have you head to head competing with somebody who we're all trying to do the same thing, and that's just to put food on our table. It's not that we like this job so much that we just, you know what I mean? But if we get a chance to throw somebody up under the bus to make a little bit more, or even save our job, okay? When we're in the field, they probably was saving the other person. If it was going to be up to me getting beat, or me having to have my wife slept with, or it was things like that. Same thing on the job. If it's going to come to me being in the spotlight, like I'm not doing my job, I'm going to throw you under the bus, and so on. It's always like a doggy dog world, and you always got this hierarchy over you telling you what you can do, what you can't do. So I don't see any big difference between being a slave back then and being a slave right now, right? Only thing is that you can probably walk out your door anytime you want, and nobody's going to probably run in and try to sleep with you or your wife or your husband or whatever, right? And yeah, the work is not as you don't have to sit out in the sun and all that type of thing, depending on what job you're doing, because we still have jobs now where we do have to be out in the sun. We and some of us are still picking the cotton, but that job is no different than a person that's locked to uh, a desk and calling people that they don't want to call, or listening to people's stories they don't want to listen to, or doing something that that's just not moving them forward in life. Okay. So here we are. Okay. So you saying, well, Kim, I can't just walk off my job. Just like you said, I have to pay my bills. I have to, get these things done. How do I get out of this red race? Well, it's not easy. Just like it wasn't easy to continue to put yourself in that position, sometimes what happens is we literally have to get fired from that place. And then at that point, if the reason that becomes a dilemma is because we don't know what we would do if we got fired. So what you should do if you're working right now is think about, if you come into work tomorrow, if they don't like your face, instead of getting scared about them not liking your face, think about what you would do if all your bills were paid and you didn't have to worry about it. How would you react to your boss coming to you talking crap to you about what you didn't do and how you didn't do it, right? You probably won't tell them to, kiss your butt at that moment, but you certainly won't be taking a whole bunch of crap. If you know you got money in the bank to pay your bills and do all the things that you need to do, and you really don't need them, and you're just working. That's the attitude you really have to take, in a sense, right? But what I want you to do, I don't want anybody to be foolish and be like, okay, well, I'm going to go in, I'm just going to quit my job. Now, if you do that, you need to have a plan of what you know you can do. And are you going to invest in you, or are you going to go to another plantation? Okay. I had to make a hard decision because I was like, I was thinking like everybody else, what, Massa, he paid me on every other Friday. I get some nice wage. And if I just shut my mouth and just do what I'm supposed to do, then I'll be okay. I'll be okay. And that's the way I thought about it all the time. In fact, I was terrified at times of getting fired. I mean, every time they looked at me, called me in the office for anything, it was all like, what did I do now? I swear, as I try to be a nice employee, I try my best not to look at that person the wrong way, or even say anything above a whisper. You can live your life like that, because I certainly did. And I remember being terrified, and not only that, devastated when they called me in the office to fire me a lot of times. Like, what am I going to do? And when I even back then, when I was crying my eyes out, it wasn't because I lost such a wonderful job. It was so lovely. It was that I did not know what I was going to do next. I did not know where my next meal was going to come from. At least that's in my head of what I thought. I did not understand that if I take the next step, I was going to find me another job. And I did. I would always find another master. I would always find another master. And that's what you feel. If you think about it like that, just think about what I just said. You actually, why are we, it's so weird. Why am I interviewing with another master? You know what I'm saying? You need me to help you continue to be rich, but I'm gonna interview with you, and I got to be impressive. They have gotten us so fooled that we are happy to work for NASA. Like, even back then, I'm sure there were people that were just happy to work for NASA. I mean, I work for good NASA because he's got this and this, and this is what we are saying when we work for a big company. I work for a good NASA. He gonna pay me the top wages, and he gonna, you know what I'm saying? They're going to make sure that I have everything, and they give me more. Blah, blah, blah. But you're still working for NASA. And you ain't the boss. I don't care where you think you doing or going, and I don't care how many benefits you think you got. Okay. And I don't care. And it's a shame, because in America, they literally will take your health care as soon as you stop working for NASA, right? So you decide I want to go on my own. But you think about, damn, if I get sick, Lord. But think about it. You paid all of that money, and I'm a healthy person. I'm very healthy, and most of you are too. And some of you probably ain't because of your damn job is worrying you to death. And all the fact that if you quit your job, you're gonna get sicker because you don't know what if you're gonna eat. That's what's in your mind. But if you banked on yourself, you will know that you're gonna survive either way it go because you got some skills in you that you didn't know you had. And sometimes when we're pushed to the limit to push back, like when we get fired, we tend to realize some of us, not all of us, because some of us, like I said, we died a long time ago. We don't have any ambition. That's why if we do lose this one thing that Massa gave us, okay, if we lose this one job, it's going to be detrimental and we're not going to know what to do next. I've seen it. I've seen young people just deteriorate because they don't know they don't have no what am I going to do next. So how do you get out of that? How do you get away from being devastated because you lose your job? Do you want to start right now today and figure out what it is that you know that you do better than anybody? Now, I heard a lot of people, because I worked in the industry where I've got a chance to talk to a lot of people that were wanting to do things in their life, because I was enrolling them in schools, in online school. And you could tell that these people wanted to do things in their life, but nobody ever really believed in them. Neither did they believe in themselves. So a lot of us, we just don't have that ambition. We just don't have it because we were taught not to have it. We were taught not to even think about, what are you thinking about yourself for? I mean, that's selfish, you know? So you today, if you looked at this video and you was like, what the hell she means, slavery, wage slavery. She thinks she all that because she, decided to go on her own or whatever. No, it is certainly not easy going out on your own after being years and years of, slave, years and years of having this, steady paycheck coming in, years and years of being afraid, years and years of not knowing, not thinking that the universe is going to just drop you on your head and you're just going to be homeless, and you got all these things in your head. But instead of thinking that if I put the same energy that I put into all of these jobs, because like I said, I was never lazy, very smart and very ambitious, and you just tell me what it is that we need to do. I always wanted to go over and above and beyond what I needed to do to help these companies become the companies that they are, right? What if I put all of that energy, all of that knowledge, all of that leadership energy that I had trying to make other people notice how much of a leader I was, and maybe they'll walk by one day and just tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, you need to be a CEO. If I put all of that energy into something that I love, which first of all, it's got to be me. What if I put all that energy into helping other people? What if I put all that energy into a cause instead of a pause? What if I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. What if how when you go on a job, they give you that 90 days. They say 90 days. If you don't get it done, out. What if you gave yourself 90 days? 90 days, do your damnedest to keep your passion going, or start your business and get it going. Give yourself 90 days of every day. I'm going to be in here like I'm in training. Go and get some online training, do some online courses, get some knowledge about what's going on. Give yourself 90 days If you give yourself 90 days, I guarantee you, you'll figure out from there if you need to do something else or what you need to do. But have you ever given yourself those 90 days? Okay. So let's say somebody, one of you guys out there, a lot of you guys may have just gotten fired and they're going to give you unemployment for 90 days. Or use your unemployment for 90 days. See what happens. See what happens. Okay. Yeah, you may be a little scared because you still have to see if your rent is going to be covered and all that stuff. Try to get everything where it's actually you can just let everything go wherever it needs to go for 90 days, right? Get your budget, tighten it up a little bit more for 90 days. That's one way of doing it. The other way you can do it is while you're on your job, always be working a side hustle that you plan to do when they don't like your face no more. Okay. Just start that hustle, whatever it is. If it's writing a book, if it's talking to people, whatever it is, find out what it is that you do and start doing it. 90 days. Forget about whether you're going to get paid for it anyway, because I'm going to tell you the truth is when you first start anything, you're probably not going to get paid much or if anything when you first started. Okay. But after about 90 days, after you got that's under your belt and you start everything moving, but you got to have this tenacity that you have when you working for that wage that they're not going to give you nothing extra for anyway. But if you work that hard in your own business, you'll see. And I'm talking about going through trainings, finding some good training on what you're doing. Don't just go in and be thinking that you're going to know everything. You're going to have some failures. Like when you're doing that 90-day trial for those jobs, you have some failures, right? You have some times where they have to bring you back into training sometimes they don't, sometimes they get to writing you up right away, then you know that's really not the damn job you want to do anyway. So then that's how you have to do yourself. You have to be like, okay, well, I'm going to try this for 90 days. I've always liked writing newsletters. So I'm going to try this for 90 days, see what happens. And then start writing. Then doing videos, start doing videos every day. Video. On whatever it is that you decide that you want to do. You'll notice during the 90 days, you're going to get better and better and better and better. Take some courses. I also put out Allison. That is a really good thing. If you haven't seen my video on Allison Education, it has a lot of different courses in there that you can take. And trust me, those courses are going to be very, very, just find out what it is that if you want to do writing, if you want to do IT, if you want to do business, if you want to do any of those things, start taking some of those courses. Okay. I'm not saying that you have to buy all of the diplomas or anything, but just take the course. They're free. Absolutely free. Listen to people like myself that's doing the same thing or try to gather that information, okay, so that you can understand that it's not an easy thing, because people always think, well, oh, look at that person. They're seeing a person that has had their business for over 5 years or so, doing great, making millions, but they not seeing that person like when they first started and they were struggling, or they didn't have much, but they still had that compassion. They still had that passion. You never knew that person was struggling because that person always they were doing something. They were working on something, right? They were working on something. They wasn't worried about, oh my gosh, or they didn't show you that they were worried about it. Like me, I'm not worried about, am I going to be homeless? Am I this and the other? Because I know that money comes to me easily and in abundance. I know that. I know that if I put the effort in, the work is going to, what I put in is what I'm going to get out of something. Okay. I know that. But now I know it in a way where whatever I put into my work that I'm doing to help other people, the rewards are going to come. Whether you pay me or somebody else is going to pay me, the money will come. The money will come. Okay. So that's why you will never see me on here dry begging or begging everybody, hey, come on, you know what? It's not going to happen, because I know that as long as I know how to uh, manipulate energy, where money will come to me as I manipulate that energy, I know I have nothing to worry about. Okay. And that's something that you have, I have, everybody has. They just don't know that they have it. Okay. But I'm here to tell you, you do have that. Now, I'm not, am I saying live on a whim of, we'll get up in the morning and, no, you live on the whim of knowing that you got it. You are who you are. You know what, you are the one that creates your life, is what I'm trying to tell you. You are the one that creates your life. Nobody else. Nobody else creates your life for you. And nobody is going to come up to you and say, hey, time to get out and make your money. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. You're going to have to get up out of that bed. You're going to have to turn on your camera if that's what you want to do. You're going to have to go research things so that you can help people if that's what you want to do. You're going to have to do it, and nobody's going to be there to tell you when and how to do it. You got it? So bet on you. Get that in your head. Get that in your head. Nobody's going to give. Now, if this is not for you, this is not for you. If it was easy, like Ralph Smart said, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? But if you feel in your heart that you have the ambition to continue to work as hard as you work for somebody else, for yourself, then I suggest you do it. Yes, is it scary? Hell yeah, it's scary. After all them years of being a slave, don't you think that those slave people that was in slavery was scared as hell to run down the road to freedom? Yes, they were scared as hell. I'm sure they was. They was like, "Oh, are you sure?" A lot of them. That's why Harriet Tubman had to grab people and at gunpoint and say, "Look, you coming and you're going to freedom now, right?" But ain't nobody coming to you with no gunpoint today. Nobody ever is going to come to you and say you need to work. Because in fact, they got it so now that it's so many people on disability, it's ridiculous. Okay. And I feel like some of those people, they're on disability where they just like, how the hell did I get here? How did I get here? Like, they're giving me a check, yes, okay. Now what am I supposed to do? Just roll over and die? And that's basically what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do. They're giving, yes, sometimes they give people a hard time about getting disability, but I think that they're kind of giving it out a little bit more these days. Okay, that's just my opinion. Now, as far as you go, you are not looking for a handout, neither am I. Okay, and we're not going to get around, places and get the dry begging and help me and send me a cash app here and there and that and the other. No, mm-mm. You have a skill that if someone wants it, they will pay for it. You have a skill that if somebody wants it, they will pay for it. Simple as that. But why would they pay for it? Because they don't know you from a can of paint. Okay. If somebody wants to buy my courses, my online courses, some people will buy it because of the simple fact they believe that I know what I'm talking about. That's simple as that. Or they just like me and they just want to see what I have to say. Okay. Will they always buy it from me? No, because they found somebody else that they feel like that person knows what they're talking about. It's several reasons why people buy from you and several reasons why they won't. But you can't let that be your end all and by all. And you can't let one avenue, and this is what we got to really get out of our head, that okay, I make YouTube videos, and if I don't get subscribers, then I'm a total failure. It is so many ways to make money online. It's like so many ways. If videos is not helping you, if you're not making money on YouTube because of the AdSense, I would not ever, believe me, I would never put my money on just going with the AdSense that they put in YouTube, on YouTube. I won't. If that happens, that's great, but I would never do that, because that YouTube is to generate leads so that you can help somebody with something else in their life. Like for instance, my YouTube channel for tarot, it was to help people with their relationships by giving them some guidance in terms of doing tarot card readings for them. It was not to do just free readings all day on YouTube. Yes, this is displaying what I can actually do, and this is what I can. If you look at what I'm saying, you would if you resonate with it and you feel that I'm the person that is understands your situation or that can give you an answer or just confirmation of what you already know, then yeah, go ahead and reach out to me. But if I'm not, and a lot of times I'm not, then you don't need to reach out to me. And if you do reach out to me, I may decide, and I definitely would decide, hey, I don't get it with you, because some people used to ask me some crazy stuff like, want me to look all into somebody's business and tell them about somebody's husband. And I'm like, no, this is not what tarot is all about. So you have to sometimes watch it with those type of situations and make sure people don't take you off of what you really started to do, because they say, a lot of people start off with stuff that's really great, and then they get I don't know, something crazy start happening, and they wind off into something totally different. They can have good intentions in the beginning, and then all of a sudden they off on something else. Like you'll see these people that come in and they wonderful pastors and everything. Next thing you know, they're doing crazy stuff with people they shouldn't be doing stuff with. Okay. And I know I'm still on YouTube, so I'm not going to say all the buzzwords that you shouldn't say, right? So I said that to say, find out what works for you. Give yourself that 90 days. Find out what works for you. Now, I promised you guys 3 ways that you can actually get out of this rat race or slavery wage. So one is find out what you're passionate about and what the cause that you want to be behind, or the problem that you want to solve. So how do you find that? What makes you mad? What pisses you off? Is it the fact that everybody is being slaved in? Is that what's pissing you off? What pisses you off? That children are not getting fed? What pisses you off? I'm talking about what keeps you up at night that you just like, I don't believe this. Whether it's you were in a relationship with a narcissistic person and you continue to get into those relationships, maybe you want to help other people get out of situations like that, or never wind up in a situation like that, right? Start making things like that. You know what I mean? Maybe you were raised, whatever your pain was, is where your cause is. Okay. What have you overcome as of lately? Have you overcome a chronic disease? Have you overcome being fired? Have you overcome weight loss? Have you had a weight loss? Have you had a weight gain? How did you get through 2020? You're here now. How did you do it? It's a lot of different things that you can talk about. It's a lot of things that you definitely can talk to people about. But you have to figure out what makes you mad, what makes you angry, and then this is what you were called to do. The second thing you want to do is you don't want to right away physically quit your job. But what you want to do is probably quiet quit. Now, how do you quiet quit? Well, you just kind of do the work that you need to do, knowing that you have another goal in mind in terms of your life. Okay? Do what you need to do and do good and be good at it. But don't put all of your passion and energy and soul into something that you know you don't need to do all that with. You save all that passion and energy and soul for your own solopreneur project. Okay. In the meantime, start brainstorming, start writing down things that you know you like to do. Start writing down things that if I wasn't here, I would probably be doing this or that. And just imagine what your life would be if you did this or that, whatever that may be. If you wanted to rescue, I saw this one lady, she says she just rescue, animals. So, I mean, that's what she want to do, ride around all day and rescue animals, okay? I don't know how much money you give for rescuing animals, but I imagine is that you can't always think that you cannot always here's a real kicker. You cannot always think that that the exact thing that you do is where your money is going to come from. I'm gonna say that again. You cannot always think that the exact thing that you do is where your money is going to come from. The fact that you putting out all that, she's putting out all that energy, she's going and helping rescuing those kittens, dogs, cats, frogs, or whatever it is she's rescuing, she's doing something that she loves. And you don't know what is going to happen with this lady. Money may come from somewhere else totally that she's not even thinking about. But she's so busy into helping these poor little souls that she's not thinking about, oh, okay, if I help five, I'm gonna get $10 here, $20 here. She's not thinking about it like that. She's thinking about, man, I gotta help this kitten, that's right here. And we're gonna make sure it's you just never know. Somebody could be, recording her. They put that on YouTube. It goes viral. All of a sudden, she got millions in her pocket, and she didn't even ask for it. What I'm saying is, don't always think that it's always going to be an exchange right then and there. Understand that the universe is looking and feeling you. You feeling it, and as you get happier and you just like doing your thing, all of a sudden money just start coming in from things that you forgot you did because you're so busy doing wonderful things for people, and you building up all that karma and all that energy is just flowing, and you just not even thinking about money and all this other stuff, and the money just start flowing in, and you just like, thank you. I don't know why that came in, but you should know why it came in, because all the energy that you putting in that's good and great, and all this energy that you doing to help somebody that you think you're doing for free, the universe is saying, go ahead, get that to them. Go ahead and give that to them. Now, I'm not saying that you will get a that like you have a product and it won't, that won't be an even exchange or whatever. You will get those. But what if it doesn't happen? Like for me, for instance, what if I put out all these wonderful online courses and nobody buys them? Okay. Nobody even watches them. Am I going to be mad about that? No, I'm absolutely not going to be mad about that. You know why? Because somewhere down the line, somebody probably is going to watch them. And somewhere down the line, somebody is going to benefit from them. So I will continue to make them. Now, will I become a very poor woman because of that? No. Because something else that I'm doing is going to provide that money that I need or want or got or everything that I want, I already have. So I don't have to worry about whether somebody's going to pay me. Just if you let's look at Dolores Cannon. She didn't. She got paid for things well after she had developed in her mind, and she had already said those things. Okay, she even talked about when she thought about her book series, somebody was already trying to buy him and she hadn't even written the book yet. But because she's already had it in her mind to do it and that it was already written and already done, somebody had already clicked into the fact that, hey, where's this book that's called da 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 da? And she was like, well, I'll have it to you soon. And she just said, like, I haven't even put ink to paper yet, but it's in my mind to do it. You see what I mean? So let's look at all these other people that were writing these things before the internet got here, right? Before the internet was is popular. We have, you have Reverend Ike information going around. You have so many. What is that? Dwayne, was it? Is it Wayne Dyer or something like that? His all of his stuff is viral now. These people are not even here any longer. Dolores is no longer in the 3D realm. These people are not even here. So when I do these videos, I'm thinking, even when I'm not here any longer in this realm, because I'm always going to be here. But when I'm not in this realm anymore, somebody still could benefit from it. So I'm not making these videos and course just to make money. Okay. That's not what it's all about. I'm making it to help somebody, be able to take that step into entrepreneurship if they decide they want to do so, but they need to know how they want to do it. So yeah, one, you want to make sure you find out what it is that you want to do. Two, you want to make sure that you working on that side hustle on the side. And three, making sure that you don't think that it's always about money exchanging every time you do something, right? This was a lesson that I had to learn, and trust me, it was a lesson that I think everybody, it takes a little bit more difficult time to learn, but once you learn it, you will be like, okay, well, I need to do this. If you're working for a cause and not the pause, you will definitely benefit. Okay, you will not be homeless, you will not be broke, you will not be any of those things. Okay, all of those things come from fear. It comes from us being brainwashed into thinking that if I don't go to Massa's plantation, it's gonna be it for me, right? So we think that way, and the reason that we're stuck on these jobs solely to pay these things that is supposed to make our lives happier, but are we really making our lives happier? Are we buying a Mercedes or Lexus and all these other gadgets just because we want to be happy, or are we trying to look like we're happy more so than be happy? Not saying there's anything wrong with buying you some quality things. Buy them quality things, but think about, do you need a designer purse, for instance? I really don't. I can carry my money in my sock, and I don't care how much money it is. You know what I'm saying? If I got $10,000, I just want to carry around me. I get a nice suitcase or a bag or something, which I don't know why I would be carrying it around like that, but whatever. you know. But then again, I'm not that type of person. Okay, you will rarely see me now. Do I have a nice car? Absolutely, because that's what I wanted, and I have a nice car because of the fact that this car is known to give longevity, not because it's sexy or nothing. It's a plus when it's sexy, but it ain't gotta be. I just want something that was going to be reliable, something that was going to be sturdy for a long period of time, something that I can get up and go, move somewhere if I need to move or whatever. That's what I was looking for when I got the car that I got. Now, dressing in the nicest clothing, I look for. I don't look for designer. I look for how does this feel on my body? How does it fit? How does it, is it does it look right on me? When I look in the mirror, I go by that. I have my own style. I don't care about whose tag. I used to, and I still kind of like polo, but I ain't gonna lie, that's only because they always have pretty much sturdy Ralph Lauren is what I mean, not the polo with the big old thing in it. No, just Ralph Lauren, and that's because number one, it was built in a time that I understand. The most of the clothes are kind of like comfortable unisex type of clothing. They're usually don't have a lot of colors. I mean not colors, but a lot of patterns. I love colors, but not a lot of patterns. So that's why they happen to be. But will you see me just because I got money? I'm gonna buy like this. I buy my gadgets because I love because it's going to benefit me. Let's put it this way: if it doesn't benefit me, you know, like carrying a designer purse or something like that, that does not benefit me. So what? Like somebody see me with a designer purse, so what? They just think I got money, and I don't want people to be thinking that. To be honest with you, so no, you won't see that. Um, Shoes, yeah, I'm going to buy shoes that are comfortable. Okay. I'm going to buy shoes that are going to last a little bit of time. Okay. So we have to think about these things. What are you really spending your money on? What do you want to make money for? Do you want to make money just so so you can be flashy, or you going to impress some people you don't like, that don't like you, and they really ain't gonna like you if you got something they think that they should have. Okay, so let's think about change that mindset. Change the mindset. Buying a house. Let's talk about that a little bit. Buying a house. That's part of the slave wage, to be honest with you. I said it. That's right. I said it. Buying a house. I bought a house. and it put me back. I've also since then have sold that townhouse. Um, but it was a pain in the ass. And you don't want to know why? Because number one, it made me stay at one place. I didn't like that city, state, or anything anymore. Okay. I was slave to, I had to keep it up. Okay. I had to, and this is me just as a single person, and that type of thing, right? I have my daughter, and that was about it. I didn't really necessarily need the house. I needed a roof over my head. I didn't necessarily need all those things that came along with owning a house. Okay. Um, so people that don't buy a house with their money, and they say, well, you are throwing money out the window when you rent a place. Yeah, okay. But I'm throwing the money out the window too when you buy a house as well. Okay, but some people will just argue the fact that, okay, well, what about all the appreciation? What about the depreciation? We can go on with that. Buying a house is not for everybody. Renting a house might be the better thing for a lot of people. Okay, you can rent that house. Let's say you rent this house, right? If the neighborhood change on your ass, guess what? Because that's what I did. I bought a house. The neighborhood changed, and changed for the worse. And here I was stuck with a house that I didn't want to even live in no more. They was breaking in my house. Okay. So but I still owe on that house. It made me have bad credit for a while. I don't have bad credit now, but it made me have bad credit for a while. I was stuck in the place that I didn't want to be. I wind up moving out, not letting anybody know, letting that house sit over there until somebody said that they wanted to buy it out of the blue. And then I just was like, here, because the person wanted to buy the whole town thing. And I guess I was holding them up. And at the time, I needed the money to get an apartment. And so owning a house, for some people, you may think, okay, well, that's still a dream of mine. That's great. Keep your dreams. I'm just telling you that you may want to reconsider, because if you're trying to get away from being in that wage slavery, if you're trying to get away from that, I'm going to tell you now, buying a house may not be, that's going to put you more in slavery. Okay. And why is it going to put you more as a slave? Because you have to pay that house out. Okay. And you got 30 years of slavery after that, 15 years if you're lucky. Okay. So what if that area decide that, today we're just going, the whole neighborhood is going to change. You have no control over that. Yeah, you say, well, rent is so high, but so what? Mortgages too. Find something that's going to be in your budget. Find something that's going to be in your budget. Now, if you want to buy a house for income, like you want to buy the house and then you're not going to live in it, that's a whole nother story. But if you're going to be buying a house and that's going to be your residence and you're going to buy it like that, I don't think that's a good investment. Now, buying a house to rent out to somebody else, I think that's a good investment. Buying a house as far as real estate goes, like if you want to just buy real estate, I think that's a wonderful investment because you're not living in it. You can sell it at any time. You're not stuck to it. You're not stuck in it. If the place if the area change, you ain't got nothing to do with that. Maybe you can just go up and down on your rent. You keep up your you if you keep up your property, you're going to be fine. Okay. But buying a house, so I guess I should change it to buying a house to live in as your residence is probably not going to be a good thing to do. Because like I said, things be changing. And what if you just got money and you just want to live in another country? You know what I'm saying? And this is going to happen to you. You're going to have so much money that you're going to be like, well, you know what? I don't want to live here anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people live in it and then they sell it. That's you skip it and just skip that part of you living in there and sell it. I mean, and have somebody else live in it. That's you still got your freedom. You see what I'm saying? So if I were to buy, a house now, it wouldn't be for me to live in. It would be for somebody else to live in, and I would put it on the market, and that's what I'll do. I would never live in my place of um of buying a house anymore. No, I would always either I'm going to lease a place, uh, rent a house maybe, but I will never like live in the house that I'm going to be buying. That's just me. And I think that's real good money since because I got it from somebody else that is actually doing it. And I've also talked to people who have been in the situation I'm in where they bought a house and it's like, well, damn, everything changed around the house and you had to do the upkeep of the place. Now, if I buy a house, then I know I'm going to rent it out. I'm going to have somebody else, take care of the outside and all that type of stuff. And, you know, I will do that. I think that's better for me. Everybody can do what they want, but I think it's better to do it that way. Okay. That way you got money coming in from that house to even take care of whatever it is that you need to take care of it. And you still have the property. As far as having the property, you still have the property, but you don't have to deal with if something changes in that area where you got to be up. And everything that you do nowadays is really basically going to be online or something like that. Now you have to go to your property every now and then. So even if you move out of the country, you can still have somebody that is stationed near that house that can kind of take care of that man that property, right? So, but anyway, that's my advice to you guys today. I hope that you got something really good out of this. I hope you now understand the difference between, or the, that is not a big difference between the history slavery, and wage slavery. Okay, either way it goes, slavery with slavery being on there, it's slavery, right? Okay. Now, I'm not saying again, I don't want anybody going quitting their job. I gave y'all the three things that you need to do, okay? Before, don't go quitting your job just yet. And in fact, I would, like I said, quiet quit, but the quiet quitting is still doing your job to the best of your ability, but not putting all your passion into what you're doing and putting all your passion, saving your passion for whatever your side hustle is. Started as a side hustle. Even if you're not making money, I want you to still do it. And I still also, if you are, they come in the next day and they don't like your face, take that time to give yourself that 90 days, get your unemployment, do those 90 days, find out how to do some email marketing, find out what your passionate is, what your cause is. And like I said, work for the cause, not the pause. Okay. So don't get on here dry begging. Everybody's talking about, I don't know where my next meal gonna come from, and Lord, we hear enough of that. And yes, you probably would get some money, but is that how you really want your career to be online? Is we got to be here for you to you know what I'm saying? No. I don't want my career to be like that. And I don't want anybody to ever feel like I'm pressuring or dry begging or anything, because I know how to manipulate this energy to get my money. Okay. Not people. We need to stop trying to manipulate people and start manipulating the energy of getting your money. And again, that money may not come exactly from somebody that bought your course, or somebody who, it may not come directly from that, because here's the thing: just because people can help you, that don't mean they will. Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow when you're sitting there waiting on everybody else to help you with something, right? That's the truth. You can't sit around and wait on your family to help you. That's why you're a solopreneur. Okay. You can't wait on your friends to be like, oh, girl, I just want to help you. Right. So you got to help yourself. You got to understand that the universe is not against you. Life is not against you, and you will be successful. You just got to know you're going to be successful. And I know it sounds all simplicitous, like, oh my goodness, all I got to do is just get up every morning and say my affirmations. It's not like that. You just got to know that you are who you say you are, and you can see you got to back in the day when I first got like my first management position. And one of the things, and this is before I knew anything about all of this, say it and believe it and walk it and chalk it and whatever it is, right? The first thing that I knew that I had to do in order to get into that management position, I had to look like a manager, act like a manager, and be a manager, even though I was sitting there on the phones. I wore a suit every day because I was like, I'm a manager of me. And soon they said, well, hey, don't she, ain't she the manager? Because she always looked like she had a manager. And I used to have people come up to me and say, you look like you're the manager. And they used to ask me questions. I'm like, no, I'm just on the phone right here. you know? And I become the manager. And I did that just to make sure I didn't do it by mistake. I did it again on another job. I was working, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna dress and act as if I'm the manager. And pretty soon people was like, oh, really? Aren't you the manager? Yes. No, I'm not. I just work here. Like, I just know everything and work here. And I became the manager. So why wouldn't I do that for myself now? I'm not acting, I'm being who I am. I am a solopreneur. I've always been. I am a very rich woman. I always have been. But it's just that I didn't have the confidence to take that up a level until recently, right? So it takes time for us to, number one, get our brain set on who we really are, because if we've been fooled and we've been bamboozled all our life, we have to change that whole mindset of what people told us who we are. Okay, it's time for you to step into your greatness. And I know that sounds all woozy woozy, but it's time for you to step into your greatness. And I'm going to be there to help you through whatever it is that you need. I'm going to continue to make my uh, online courses and give these trainings regardless of whether anybody is watching them right now, whether anybody is, and this is basically what the task of the universe has given me. They pretty much said, look, you want to do this, you're going to do it. And this is what we want you to do. You're going to do it regardless of who's watching, regardless of how many people's watching, and regardless of how many people actually buy anything. You're going to do it because you love to do it. Yes, I love to do it. And that's why it is successful, because I love to do it. Yes. That's where we all need to be. Forget about whether somebody, I'm not going to give you a pitch about, well, all you got to do is just buy it. It's 29.99 and just, it's in the description and all that stuff. You know the spiel at this point. Either you go in the description and get it, or you ask me. If you really want a course, you're going to ask me. You're going to say, hey, Kim, where do I get a course at? Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm going to sell everybody who comes here, I'm going to sell them. Okay. Because it's just not like that anymore. Am I going to tell you all the great benefits of everything? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I want you to go ahead and subscribe and get all this? Absolutely. But am I going to get on here and dry bag and ask everybody, hey, nobody really wants to hear that all the time. I know I really don't. I really want people to be honest and say, hey, you know what? It'd be great if you guys did this, but if you don't, that's fine. I'm still going to give you this information. And that's what I'm saying to you today. It's great if you guys go ahead and, get one of the courses that I get. But if you don't, guess what? It's still okay. And guess what? I'm not going to starve if you do. And guess what? If you do, I'm not going to be the most rich woman in the world because I'm already rich. I don't care whether it goes like that or not. I just want you to get this information so that you can benefit from it, so that you can get whatever it is that you desire in this life. So it's not always all about me, but it's all about me helping you get where you need to go. So that's my time, guys. I hope that you guys understand this. Look, I've been in sales for over up 10 years, okay? So many years. At least 10 years, okay, is what I can think of. Now, if I wanted to sell people on stuff, trust me, I could sell people on whatever it is. I used to do it for big companies all day long. Just sell, 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 sell. But why would I sell you on something that I know that is going to be beneficial for you? I can only tell you the benefits. I can only tell you how it's going to benefit you. That's it. Now you're going to have to decide whether this is what you want or what you don't want. Okay, right now I'm putting all these things together, so there's no need for me to continue. What I do want you to do is I want you to go to the next video. If I have another video available for you, you go to that next video because it's going to be right there. Okay. And if you want to know the next course, the next free course that I'm going to give is actually going to be right there. Okay. So I do have all these free courses that I'm going to be putting up here. A lot of them going to be in video. Some of it is going to be a link to just clicking it and going ahead and getting that link. I also want to teach you guys how to actually do videos and also do courses as well. I also have ready-made courses that you can actually put out on your own, and you can actually sell for yourself. And I have those. So if you're ever interested in those, just let me know. I'm going to be putting the link about all this in the description as usual. Okay. All right. And if you have any questions about anything that I've said today, or if you have any comments, go ahead and comment in the description below. The comments are really great because this gives me an opportunity to speak to you guys directly, give you some quick advice, right? Or if you find out like, hey, but I don't even like what Kim was talking about at all. I love my job, I love my people, and I don't feel like I'm in slavery. If you want to talk about that, go ahead and put that in the description as well. If you think that everything I said was crap, just put that in the description as well. I am not going to block anybody from crazy stuff that people might say, because a lot of times people just need the attention of let's just set them right. Okay. That's it. But if you say anything that's going to be detrimental to somebody else or hurting somebody else, then I'm definitely going to make sure that I block you. Okay. Because I don't want you to hurt other people or talk about other people in the description. I want you to stay on topic. Even if you disagree, I still want you to put whatever it is that you disagree about in the description. Or if you have something that you just want to add, put it in the description. If you have a course that you think that I should do, put it in the description. I'll be more than happy. I'll read everything. Okay. Trust me on that. Okay. So that's all I got for you guys. It's been a wonderful time speaking with you guys. You guys have a wonderful and blessed day.